$100 riding on this one. This one will tell the difference. Fellas, it's addressed to you. Don't give me the answer now. Men, Monty Hall has invited the two of you to a super edition of Let's Make a Deal. So far, you got $100,000 in cash. Now, you can keep it or trade it for a box that contains either $1 million or a rotten egg. $1 million or a rotten egg. Which one of you is more likely to risk the 100,000 or to go for the million? What?
Huh?
Which one of you is more likely to risk the 100,000 and go for the million? That's what it should be. Okay, you got it?
No.
Which one of you, between your wife and you, is more likely to risk the 100,000, risk losing the 100,000 and go for the million?
I got you.
Got me now?
Yeah.
Okay, fellas, think about it. We'll be back in a moment.
Oh,
Betty?
that's a killer.
That's tough.
And he's never seen Let's Make a Deal.
Well, now
he works in the daytime.
Now here he is. He's got the choice now. What do you think he's going to say? Well, which one of you would be more likely to risk that losing that 100,000?
I would.
You'd say, to heck with the 100,000, let's go for the million.
I would, I think.
He'll
I'm
say-
more of a gambler.
You would be more likely.
He would keep the 100,000.
He'd take the 100 grand and go home, huh?
It's funny because he isn't always... Well, he doesn't like to gamble.
So you'll say you would be more likely to risk
Yeah.
losing the 100,000
That's right.
and go for the for the
That's
million.
right.
All right, let's bring him on. Gene, now between you and Betty,
Yeah.
who would be most likely to risk losing the 100,000 and go for the million?
Well, I would say Betty would. She's more of a gambler.
That's what the lady said. You are right, sir. You have a share of that $300. Thank you, Gene. Patty, how about between you and Donald? Oh, this is tough, I know.
Now, this is going to surprise you. See, because Donald has an expression, CIF, cash and fist.
Cash and fist.
Yeah, it doesn't come up often, but he says that every once in a while. But I come from a long line of card sharpies and mahjong mavens. So I have no interest in gambling at all.
I see.
I would walk away with $100,000 a happy person.
Right.
I don't think he'd be too happy about giving that up to go for the other, but I think he'd be more likely to than I.
To give up the 100,000 and go for the million?
I think so.
Half the yellow section says no.
Because not only is he cheap, he's greedy.
And boy, if that's ever a difficult situation, that's it.
I mean, this would put him away for years
That's
if
right.
he had to make this decision.
That was a song. Cheap and greedy. Okay. You will say he will be more likely to risk losing the 100 grand and going for the million.
Because I'm not a gambler.
All right, let's bring on Donald, find out. Donald, who would be more likely to risk losing the 100,000 and going for the million?
Well, there I am, dressed as a meatloaf, and Patty is dressed as a pickle. And we've waited 6 hours, and I've got 100,000 out of Monty. I'm going to keep the 100,000 and forget going for it. Now, Patty said something else.
Patty said...
Yeah.
Patty did not say that. That's not what the lady with the red hair
Did
said.
she say that I'm more of a gambler than she
Yes.
is?
Yes, she did.
But I am the saver of the two. I mean, in terms of trying to
She
save
said
money.
you were cheap, but you were also greedy. I'm sorry, Donald. You don't have a share of the pot. Phyllis, how about Ward? What's he going to say?
He is going to say that I would be more likely to risk the 100,000 for the mill.
Are you a gambler?
Not necessarily, only if it's big enough.
And this is certainly qualified.
That's large.
That's big. Okay, he's going to say you would risk the 100,000 and go for the million.
Yes, I think he is.
All right, let's find out. Ward,
Yes.
who would be more likely, you or Phyllis, to risk that 100 grand and go for the million?
Oh, that's very easy. Since Phyllis firmly believes in the magic of believing, she would know that the $1 million was in that box, and she would go for that.
That's what the lady said. You're right. And that means Phyllis and Ward, Gene and Betty split the $300 pot. There's the money up on the board. That signal means the time is up. Betty and Gene have won it for the blue section. All right. We'll come back in just a moment to find out how much they have won right after this message for you. Our big winners today, congratulations to the blue section. Gene and Betty, they have $300 for them. We had $1,000 for that, for a total of $1,300 for the blue section. Thank you for tuning in. That's all the time we have. Bert Convy saying so long, everybody. See you next time.
This is Jack Clark speaking for Tattletales, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.